I reminded a friend of mine that he owed me 60 pence for 3 weeks straight. Do you think that we're still friends? No. This happened a while ago when I was 12 and I had my first job. This was paper round, paper boy. And back then I used to get paid £12 a week for me to get up every morning at 6 a.m. and for an hour to 2 hours deliver papers. Every day of the week, that would bring me £12 at the end of the week. Obviously, very unfair child labor, but that was the terms that I agreed to. It was my first job and I had no other idea. So those 60 pence were a lot of hard work for me. And this friend, he asked me for 60 pence to pay for a chocolate bar of Whisper. I gave it to him after he told me that he would give it back the next day, but he never did. And he never did. And he never did. And I felt betrayed. I felt taken advantage of. I started developing insecurities and complexities about, oh my god, he just took something from me, I need to get back. It's obvious that with an attitude like that, the friendship did not last. It was more self-interested, more about what I could get, what he would get, how the transaction of our friendship would go. Was he getting 60% while I was getting 40%, or were we getting 50-50? These were things that were going on unconsciously through my mind when I was 12. But that wasn't the last time that I made a mistake. There's more friends that I lost along the way, involving girls or cancelling and betraying, backbiting, backtalking. A lot of things that would normally ruin a friendship. But there's one mindset that completely messed up a lot of my friendships and my own development for many years. This is the mindset of giving more than you are getting. I was always very selfish growing up, a very jealous guy. I saw other people in their houses, how they had better lives, and how I had to work so hard for everything that I had, which on the surface was a lie. I only tried to keep up with others. I never even had the new phones, the new toys, the new games. I just tried to somehow compensate in other ways. I never had any of it. As I got older and I started making more money, and I had my own independence, my own jobs that were paying me more than £12 a week for getting up every morning, and I started getting £12 an hour, 13, 14. Then things started to change a little bit. I wouldn't mind going out to spending money, and I would have every toy that I wanted. This was when I was still 19, even up to 20 to be honest. And I'd treat friends and they'd treat me and I would be fine. But I had the terrible habit of subconsciously in the back of my head remembering the amount of times I invited them and remembering the amount of times they invited me. And without saying a word, I kept track. And I hated this about myself. It made me so furious, so mad. In the back of my mind, the thought was always there. Against my will, and I knew that it was wrong. I knew that a friendship isn't about that. It's not about taking profit or who invites who more. But I couldn't help but have the thought. It just stayed there. Every time it happened, I'd calculate it. And a friend of mine, who is clever, made it hard for me to not think that he was always trying to take advantage of me or the situation. He actually even had more money than me, I think, at the time. And it felt like whenever we proposed a plan to go out to eat or something, somehow it'd always be one treating the other. And somehow we'd always end up in an expensive place or spending more money when it was me treating him than he treating me. And because he was smart, I couldn't help but connect the two facts and think, he's taking advantage of me. And I reflected a lot. When I was alone, I looked at myself in the mirror and thought, I'm a piece of shit. Imagine I was the same way in relationships. And then it hit me. I was. In relationships, I was the same way. Slightly different. It was, let's see how many times she messages me instead of how many times I message her. Let's see how much she loves me instead of me loving her. Let's see who loves the most and who's more in control, more winning. You're winning in a relationship, but you're a team. It's not you against them. It's the both of you together in love. But we are nasty. We are dirty human beings. It's not our fault entirely. It's just the nature of temptation and greed and the other capital sins. But I managed to shift it. I managed to shift from the selfish way of getting more than I'm giving to them to finding joy in giving to others. And as a matter of fact, feeling uncomfortable when they give to me. Now I think, God, I don't want the gift. It makes me feel a little bit awkward. It makes me feel like I'm in debt almost. But that's also bad. And I also managed to go from that to, oh my God, thank you so much for the gift. Never ever expecting a gift, but always welcoming it with an open heart and actually desiring to give to them more than they gave to me. And those evolutions all happen through one mindset. When I started meditating, there's a few ways of meditating, first of all, and one of them is to recite something in your head. I recited something called the Saint Francis prayer. And in the Saint Francis prayer, he says, Lord, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it's in giving that we receive, and it's in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it's in dying to self that we're born to eternal life. Those words have more meaning the more that I repeat them, to be honest. It feels like there is wisdom which needs to be unlocked through repetition. And I started understanding it more and more. Each time I meditated, each day, I would repeat it in my head for 10 minutes, 30 minutes as I sat down, took deep breaths. I started trying to associate giving with joy. I started finding joy in giving. I started thinking about the other person. What would be best for them? What would make them happy? I started taking the actions that would do so. They started thanking me. Those thanks made them nicer to me. They started being more considerate. They started being better friends. They started actually giving me things on their own accord at random times of the year. And I thought, wow. Treat others how you want to be treated. If we think about getting more than the other person, then we might get more, but they will be trying to get more too. It will be a toxic relationship or friendship. If we try to give to the other person, they will give back. They will want to give back. Even the most greedy of person, the most selfish of people, they will feel uncomfortable if you give to them without expecting anything back. If you give to them thinking, I'm going to give to them because I want to give to them, you will get so much more. Because even if they don't give something like materialistic, they will give you the thanks, and that would have been something for you. And even if they don't give you their thanks, you would have given something to them because you wanted to. So you would have felt fulfilled by doing something that you felt like doing, like bringing joy to another person. There's many cool ways, philosophies or phrases that would describe this phenomenon. Treat others like you want to be treated. The world of the outer is a reflection of the world of the inner. Output equals input. You know, whatever term best goes into your head. But the point is, if you choose to be a giving person, you will receive tenfold. Your good will, your good nature will be noticed, will be recognized. If your reward is not in this world, it will surely be in the hereafter, but you will be recompensated for everything that you do. That was a tough word, I don't know why, it should be easy. Recompensating. You don't need money or anything else to give to others. You just need a good heart. Giving somebody an honest praise, an honest recognition, an honest touch on the shoulder, saying, it's alright, an honest hug, honest support can make a person go a long way. Some of the things that all of the things that most mattered to me that my friends have given to me has been their words as well as their trust. I've gotten plenty of cool gifts from them, but the things that I cherished most were the treatment towards me, their compassion, and their faith that I can achieve what I set my mind to. And this happened because I gave to them, and I continue to give to them, and I don't expect them to give anything to me. I give to them because I love them. Whether it is your friends, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, give to them, give to them, and continue to give to them. From a place of your heart that is free from return, that is free from I want to win. No, you are winning the moment that you give to them. What you give to the world gives back to you. Do a good deed even if no one's watching. Matter of fact, when no one's watching, it's more important, because that's when it's most honest. If you know that people are watching, you will have the subconscious ideas of, no, I look cool or I look good or whatever, right? What if you picked up something in the road, right, a bit of trash, when there was no one else walking around, and you put it in the bin? Do you know how gratifying that is? I mean, maybe not for everyone, but man, I love doing that shit. Become a spirit, a person, an avatar, a character that dedicates himself to giving, that dedicates themselves to being somebody that creates love. Because there's plenty of people trying to feed off of others. There's plenty of people that want to have a piece of another. So how about you let yourself be abundant? You let yourself give to others. You let yourself say, hey, if you have a craving, you have a desire, you have a need for somebody to give to you because you feel empty, no worries. My cup of love is overflowing. Here, take it. It's for you. From me to you. If we all decided to make one better action a day, I think the world would be a much better place. So that being said, treat your friends better. And if you don't want to treat them better, it's because you're not meant for each other. So get rid of them and look for other friends, better friends that will cherish you like you're going to make sure you cherish them. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love. Yeah.